The moment the cold water hits your skin, your body doesn't just get cold, it panics. Biologically speaking, your brain doesn't know you are standing safely in your bathroom. It thinks you have fallen into a frozen lake. In less than a second, millions of thermal receptors in your skin send a high-priority distress signal to your hypothalamus. This triggers an immediate, involuntary gasp. You might notice your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. This isn't a choice. It's a hardwired survival reflex designed to intake maximum oxygen before you potentially drown. Simultaneously, your sympathetic nervous system, your fight-or-flight driver, slams the accelerator. Your heart rate spikes. Your blood vessels in your arms and legs violently constrict, forcing warm blood toward your vital organs to keep them alive. Most people stop here. They feel the shock and assume the benefit is just waking up. But if you stay under the water, you are initiating a neurochemical cascade that drugs can barely mimic. Once you step out of the shower and dry off, you don't just feel awake, you feel razor sharp. This isn't a placebo, it is the result of a massive release of norepinephrine. Studies show that cold exposure can increase blood concentrations of norepinephrine by up to 530%. In the brain, this neurotransmitter acts like a noise-canceling headphone for your thoughts. It reduces neural noise, allowing you to lock in to a single task with aggressive clarity. If you're a student or someone who struggles with brain fog, this is nature's strongest focus hack. But norepinephrine has a partner, and this is where science gets truly fascinating. While caffeine gives you a dopamine spike that crashes an hour later, cold water triggers a sustained release of dopamine. Research has shown a 250% increase in dopamine levels that doesn't spike and crash, it rises slowly and stays elevated for hours. This means you don't just get the motivation to start your day, you maintain the drive to finish it. You are essentially hacking your brain's reward system without the withdrawal. After about a week of daily cold exposure, a structural change begins in your adipose tissue, your body fat. Most of the fat on your body is white adipose tissue. Its job is simply to store energy. It sits there, waiting to be used. But you have another type of fat, hidden around your collarbones and upper spine, called brown fat or brown fat. Brown fat is unique because it is packed with mitochondria. Its biological purpose isn't to store energy, it is to burn it to generate heat. In a modern, climate-controlled life, your brown fat goes dormant. It sleeps because you are always comfortable. However, daily cold shock acts as a wake-up call. Your body realizes it needs a more efficient heating system. It begins to activate and even grow more brown fat. This leads to non-shivering thermogenesis. You stop shivering as much in the cold because your internal furnace is burning white fat to keep you warm. You are literally turning your metabolism into a more inefficient system, which, in the context of burning calories, is exactly what you want. By the end of the first month, the benefits move from your brain and metabolism to your immune system. The shock of cold water causes a transient increase in leukocytes, your white blood cells. Think of it as a daily fire drill. By briefly stressing the body, you keep the immune system vigilant. One major study found that people who took daily cold showers had a 29% reduction in sick days compared to those who didn't. They didn't necessarily catch fewer viruses, but their bodies fought them off so efficiently that they felt fewer symptoms. You are effectively hardening your biology against the environment. There is one final benefit that is difficult to measure under a microscope, but perhaps the most valuable of all: top-down control. Every morning, you stand in front of that cold handle. Your primitive brain screams, no! It craves comfort. It wants warmth. When you turn the handle anyway, you are engaging the prefrontal cortex, the logical, executive part of your brain, to override the primitive emotional brain. Neuroscientists call this top-down control. It's a mental muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. By forcing yourself to endure high-friction discomfort for just 2 or 3 minutes in the morning, you build a mental callus. When you sit down later to study for a difficult exam, or when you have to do a boring task at work, that friction feels smaller. You have already conquered the hardest part of your day. You have trained your brain to disconnect comfort from action. So, is the cold shower a magic pill? No, but it is a biological lever. It creates a new baseline where your dopamine is higher, your metabolism is faster, and your mind is quieter. It transforms the first act of your day into a lazy routine, into a victory. And biologically speaking, winning the morning often means winning the day. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the hard science, make sure to like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, have you tried cold showers? And did you survive the first 30 seconds? See you in the next one.